Hello and welcome to the Gone Traveling Podcast. We are looking at the BKT EuroCup, the road to greatness. We are in the playoff, the break before the playoffs, a couple of weeks before the postseason is there, and we are anxiously awaiting. We, meaning myself, David Hein, and over in Valencia, Sergio Llebres. Sergio, how you doing?
Hi, David. Very busy with this uh, King's Cup thing here in Spain. There's a lot of excitement always with this tournament because it's very entertaining, the best teams in the league playing against each other. So we had the same thing all over Europe, and it's going to be a very fun weekend or week.
Uh, so remind us again really quick who's in the Copa del Rey?
Yeah. Today they are play. There's two games. Juventud against Unicaja. One EuroCup team goes there. Then you got Barça against Tenerife. A EuroLeague team goes there. Then tomorrow Valencia will play against Gran Canaria, the other two EuroCup Spanish teams that are in the competition,
Ah,
and also Real Madrid against Baxi Manresa. That Manresa is like the surprise this year in the
yeah,
ACB.
yeah,
So
yeah.
very interesting bracket with Madrid and Barca in different breeds. So it's going
And,
to be
and
fun.
then the Euro Cup matchup too.
Yeah. That's Valencia hasn't won in ACB or EuroCup games since 2016 in Gran Canaria Arena.
In Gran Canaria. Well,
Yeah,
2016. Holy
yeah,
cow.
nine or ten different 9 or 10 consecutive games without winning. They won in a Super Cup they played, but
Super Cups don't
pre
count. Super
yeah,
Cups don't count.
I know.
Wow,
That's
cool, cool.
pre-season. So in Valencia, there's a lot of fear, a lot.
Yeah,
They are not very confident. Not the teams. I'm talking about the people and the
the
fans. They are
fans,
not very
the
confident.
supporters.
I'm not. I'm not. Also, I'm not neither. So it's going to be very interesting. And also, just to explain, Valencia plays Friday at 8 or 8:30 p.m. And if they go to the finals, they are going to play the three games in less than 72 hours. So
Wow.
it's the worst possible scenario for a team in the Kings Cup. So
But they would play the second they would play the second semifinal though, right? Or do
yeah,
they play the first semifinal?
yeah, but that's 24 hours later only.
Yeah. So basically, well, that's I mean, you could say the same thing about Gran Canaria too, right?
Of course, of course, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah, yeah.
of
Oh,
course. I'm talking about the fear of Valencia with this Kings Cup. So
yeah,
Gran
yeah, sure,
Canaria
sure,
is
sure.
like they have nothing to lose really because the Valencia got the ticket with the first place and they were the first to get the ticket and they were like the sensation in the first half of the season. So all the pressure goes to Valencia really. So
Yeah, sure, of course.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
very fun, very fun. Yeah.
well, so I mean, Manresa people might not be able to figure out. Can you name the four teams in the German Cup semifinals?
In the four teams in the EuroCup semifinals.
In the German Cup
No,
semifinals.
no.
One you could get pretty easily.
Bayern,
There you go.
not Alba,
Nope.
Ulm,
Nope.
no. The Dennis Roder team that I cannot say the name. I cannot say the name really. The Dennis Roder has a team.
No. Braunschweig. Nope. Nope.
France
Nope.
White,
Nope.
Hamburg.
Nope.
I don't know.
So it's being held in Weissenfels, and that's the
Yeah.
Syntanix MBC. So that's NBC, and they're playing against Bayern. And
Mm-hmm.
the other semifinal is Frankfurt Skyliners against
My God.
Bamberg. Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
That's
Impossible
why it doesn't
for me.
surprise me that you're not
Yeah.
able to name the teams.
Impossible.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So you guys didn't come here to listen about the Copa del
No,
Rey
no.
and the German Cup, top four, but you guys did want to hear about the Euro Cup. So we actually, I know last week we mentioned that we're going to talk about the playoffs. Um, I have a feeling we're going to probably talk a little bit long on the other topics that we want to talk about. We're going to look at the sort of get an update on the Rising Star, Coach of the Year, and the MVP. And then we are going to touch a little bit on playoffs, but only in the way that we're going to each pick a team that we are surprised made the playoffs, and then a team that
Pues
we're
de esto.
that we find as a disappointment that they didn't make the playoffs. Okay, so let's start. You want to start?
Okay, that's fine. You told me that you
Rising Star.
had
So I'm not 100% sure if it's U20,
one, I
U21,
think, no?
whatever it is. So it's the Rising Star Award. Both all of the guys are that I think that we're going to take are definitely candidates. So who you got?
Yeah, there's no, for me, there's no surprise here. I think there are about 4 or 5 names that are kind of interesting because EuroCup, we all know that commonly has some youngsters that are very interesting. And this year we had uh, two guys in Ulm. Well, there are many guys in Ulm, but two main guys in Ratio Farmoon that are, as you know, Ben Saraf and Noah Senge. I think they are mandatory to be in this top because they are not only being one of the best youngsters, they also are kind of leading the PIR top. For example, Esenge is in top 11 with 16 PIR in 18 games. He played all 18 games. We have to remember that he uh, retired for a pair of games because of some injuries and things like that, but that doesn't stop him to have very good percentages, very good uh, mediums. So for me,
Averages.
Essenge, yeah,
Averages.
averages, sorry. And then
No worries.
yeah, and then the third one for me is Jan Montero because everyone would think that he is like 25, 23. And no, he's 21. He's able to win for example, in Spain, he's able to win the his third best young player award in a row, and that's something that no one has ever done. So
Nobody's ever done it.
no, uh,
Doncic and Allison both won it twice.
exactly. So
And
I
he
think
can
he
win it
has a
then. Can he win it next season too, or
no, next.
no?
This is
He would
he's
graduate from the
yeah,
generation.
he's
Okay.
21 now, so
Yeah.
he's on the borderline for this, and this is as he gets older, he has more experience, he grows as a player, and he's a star in Spain. He's a star in EuroCup now. He leads Valencia in PIR. He leads Valencia in scoring, I think, or if not, he leads Valencia in scoring in the last games. He's also, as Esenge, been injured for a couple times. He lost more games than anyone in this top because he only played 13 games, but he had 12 points per game. And also, he assumed very difficult shots. So his percentages are kind of low, but decent with 30% from the arc. So for me, it's one of the main players because he also is one of the top assisters of the competition. He's in the top seven, uh, right behind Stefan Jovic, his teammate. And well, this demonstrates how Valencia plays. They are always looking for its teammate, and that's a difficult situation to demonstrate that you're a star, no? Because it's not like, for example, Jared Harper or Xavier Simpson that or Anthony Cowan that are also very good passers, but they always have the ball in their hands, you know. So this is very good for a very good context for Montero, and also, as I said before, Senge and Ben Saraf are for me the top three.
What's your order? What's your order? Come on, man. Give us your order.
I would say,
Who wins it? Who wins it?
yeah, I would say Montero because um, not because of his impact, but the position of the team. At the end of the day, Ulm didn't go to the playoffs, and that's not a very important thing for a rising star. But if we talking about the impact in a winning team, Montero gets it for
And
me.
who's your two or three? Who goes two and who goes
Yeah,
three?
I would say at the beginning of the season, I would say Ben Saraf because he started very well. But looking at the growth of Senge and the display he has given, because he started getting a lot of rebounds, getting a lot of blocks, also getting better at the 3-point line. So I would say Montero, Senge, Ben Saraf for me because I like a lot of Senge and what he can do with his little very thin body. So I'm in love with Senge. So
I got the same thing. Saraf three, two, Essing, and Montero number one. Montero with a 2.89 assist to turnover ratio at 21. Yeah, in 22 minutes. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely Montero. Coach of the year. This one was kind of hard.
yeah,
But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with my three names, and then I will say which one I have. First of all, I'm gonna say Pedro Martinez from Valencia. People might be wondering what the heck are you talking about. This Valencia team, they made a few changes, but it was a team that really totally changed its personality from last year. Alex Mumbro was coach there. I mean, obviously Sergio could say more to that, but
yeah,
I have Pedro Martinez who turned them into an absolute beast. As one of my coaches, another one of my coaches is Erdem Chen at Turk Telekom Ankara. He had the disappointment at Efes last year, came back to the club that he led to the of the EuroCup, and has them back in the playoffs. And then the other guy I have is Alessandro Magro over in Wolves. They finished fourth, and it's an Italian coach. Coached 2 seasons in Poland, then went to Brescia for 3 years, and then makes his way up to Lithuania, a totally new team. Some pretty big injuries early in the season, a big run mid sort of late early season, and then found a way to get to fourth place. So those are my three guys, and I'm taking Magro. I think that the job that Alessandro Magro has done
yeah,
up in
for sure.
in Vilnius, and also you think about Vilnius, is it's a basketball country, but Ritas is so massive, and yet they're still able to kind of find their niche and really play a role up there in the Lithuanian basketball mecca. So who
Yeah.
you got?
My top one is
And so my third is Martinez. Second is
okay.
Erdem Chen from Turk Telecom, and then Magro.
I got some different stuff. In it's all in the group B. I tried to get someone in the group A, but uh, knowing that you chose Vilnius very well, I would say um, surprisingly Neven Espagia from Venice, um, Zvezdan Mitrovic from Cerevita, and also Pedro Martinez because I think it's unquestionable the work he's done with this team as good as they are. And it's not only because of their quality or their status as a player individually. Martinez made these semi-stars, semi-European stars, a very good team that they are playing like there's no one that can lead the team. It's difficult to explain, but also it's very easy to see how they play, and they are very different from a lot of teams. because of how they play. I think Martinez is mandatory to with a 89% winning percentage. I think it's impossible not to include him here. And also, I wanted to talk about Venice with Neven España, a guy that has already won the Euro Cup, precisely with Valencia, and I liked him a lot, and you can see the impact he had from I don't know round 5 or 6, and how at the time he had the players he needed, how the team rose. So for me, he has a lot of credit because he played the season with 3 rounds less, practically, without a lot of players at the beginning. So he's got a playoff berth without practically 3 rounds of the team, you know. And then I gotta go with Zvezdan Mitrovic. Olympia Ljubljana tried a new project here, and they got a very good EuroCup coach as Mitrovic that he won with Monaco, if I'm not wrong, in 2021 or
Yep.
yeah, and then they got also Techo Mulero, the GM, that also won the EuroCup 3 or 2 times as a GM. So they started a new project, and you can see how influential was Zvezdan Mitrovic because they started very well. Then he got the injury, the back injury, the with a surgery. He lost a month and a half or something like that. Cervita lost 6, 7 games between domestic competition and EuroCup. They were very bad. He came back with the team, and they started to win again. And you can see with a lot of new players that they understand very well what Zvezdan Mitrovic wants, and also they understand very well each other. So for me, they are the top three. I would say Mitrovic 1, Martinez 2, and Spaggia 3.
I have no problem with adding Mitrovic.
Hmm.
That with him being out, uh, I figured maybe take that of that impact a little bit away from him, and then Spahia. Uh, I know he had loads of massive injuries.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, you're going to see in my playoffs. You know, I have Rye or Love, so um, for them barely sneaking in, you know, and really having to survive with help from other teams much more.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of again, no problem with either of those teams, but I think that the job that the other two guys did personally, but no problem.
No,
Let's
no,
move on to MVP.
of
Can't wait to
course.
see what you have. I mean, let's say it probably the second and third guy, but we'll see what we have.
It's kind of easy, I would say, to say the MVP because you know mm, there's one guy that has been talked about all the season. We did it. So Jared Harper for me is the MVP. I don't even need to mention the 3 guys to like elaborate because without
Did you have any second and third just to see
yeah,
who
yeah,
else?
yeah. For
Who
me,
do you have? I
for
don't think we
me,
really need to talk about Harper. So who do you have as far as your other two
okay.
in the top three?
For me, the second, it's kind of tied because they are very close for me. Kabengele must be there, and Xavier Simpson. They think I looked for some numbers, and without them, the team is practically nothing. So you can see Kabengele's impact from the paint, and then Xavier Simpson's impact from the outside, but also being very aggressive to the rim. I think Xavier Simpson gave a lot of um, uh, I don't know how to say, like stabilization or to the team because he could do anything. He's been a great scorer. He's third in scoring, He's I don't know. Let me search. He's first in assists. He's fifth in 2 pointers made. Uh, he's also good in scoring, in steals. So he's an all-around player, and that's demonstrated. Well, to be fair, or to be honest, I didn't look at the PIR top, and they are literally the top three: Harper, Cavengele, and Simpson. Sorry, literally, I didn't
Yeah.
see it. It was my
Yeah.
thinking, and because I'm looking at the stats now to not get wrong, and for me their impact is it's been impressive. And Cavengele is an NBA guy, a EuroLeague player caliber, and Xavier Simpson, I love him because of the mini baby hook that he does a lot of times. He got me the first game I saw it. He got me a lot. And yeah, that's the top three for me. Harper, Cavengele, and Simpson, and kind of tied because I don't really have a preference there, but if I had to choose one, Cavengele.
I have Harper, and then I've come get it, and I actually put Jalen Smith in there at
Hmm.
third. Simpson.
That's good.
I actually started looking at this actually through PIR, just to be lazy, just to be lazy. But I think those two are automatic, and Smith is actually further down. So, but I think that Smith deserves a spot in there because of the way that he stepped up in so many of those important moments. Not saying that Xavier Simpson didn't, but to do that at a level of got with a level of teammates
Hmm.
that are EuroLeague level guys as well, for me, kind of put that over the top. Simpson was right in there too, but I kind of started the Jalen Smith as possible MVP band. He was really clearly that guy who won some games late for them. All right, so we have our playoff field, and but we do want to just before we actually go into the playoffs, delve into the playoffs. We want to talk about the one surprise team that made it to the playoffs. So, do you want to start with the surprise?
Well, my surprise for this season, I think it's very clear looking at the numbers and the record. Cerevita, a team that literally won one game all over the last regular season, and now they had won 10 out of 18. They finished the season in the fourth spot, but they were fighting in the last round to get the direct quarterfinal berth. So for me, passing from one one win to nine more in the next season is impressive, and all the credits for them because the planning, the planification is kind of mm, outstanding. And I got to see them in La Fonteta, and even if they lost by 20, they played very well, and you could see like through the season there was a very interesting starting five with two, three key players coming off the bench. So I like them a lot, yeah. And I didn't expect these 10 wins really, so very good for them. Well, you
Um,
could say also that this season has been very, very, very tight. Everything very competitive. So, literally, the six teams that got the playoff berth in, well, and also the top five in Group A have 10 wins. So, that's something that goes with the competition this year also.
I actually went with Budućnost. Um, I had them actually down at 14 in my power rankings to start the season, and for them to kind of get in was a surprise for me. I figured that Cedevita had underperformed the last 2 years, and
Ah.
so it wasn't for me. It wasn't a total shock. that they improve, that they would improve. Did I think that they would win, that they would get to the fourth spot? Nah, maybe not. Actually, you know what? Where did I have them? I think actually, to be honest, hang on a second. There you go. Ninth place overall group in the power rankings. Group B final ranking, fourth, baby.
Oh,
So I nailed that one. How did something out of the ordinary? But Badusnos was my surprise. I didn't see them. I didn't see them. Getting into the playoffs in that group. You think about it. They put behind them. They put a Juventus behind them. So even Trento, who from personnel, some parts of the personnel, I did like them better as well. So I'm going with Badusnos. My disappointment, pretty easy if you know me. Olin,
yeah,
5 losses in a row to finish the season. That's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. And the other team, not to steal your thunder. Well, no, good. Well, actually, I know who you're going to take. So,
yeah,
the other team that I would think maybe a little bit was Borg. But they had so many lost so many guys, and then had that target on them too. And I'm not going to say necessarily pressure because I don't think anybody in Borg, had pressure. But so that was and the other one of kind of a disappointment, but for me, definitely the disappointment uh, for was Ulm, where you were thinking maybe even they have a chance for like a second place or whatnot, and then they just kind of tanked at the end.
yeah. It's a pity that Ulm didn't get the playoffs. I like them a lot too. And yeah, they a couple rounds before they were fighting for the second spot. So it's kind of confusing this season for a lot of teams. And yeah, you said that you knew my disappointment, and as you said, as with whom, if you know me, I gotta go with Juventud. It's impossible not to get surprised with the EuroCup season. I had them as not contenders, but possible contenders to get in a semi-finalish season. So it's
I
for me,
had them number 3 in my
yeah,
power rankings to start the season.
it's incredible
Wow.
how low their EuroCup feeling was. They all started with a very bad beginning in the season all around, with a lot of doubts and not good feelings on the new signings. Cassius Robertson wasn't scoring anything. Devon Dodson wasn't organizing nothing, so it was only Ante Tomic against the world. Sam Kaiser Gates, that now he's in Murcia, and everything started with a couple of wins in November, and then with the arrival of Sam Decker. He's been the guy that changed everything, but that only was translated to Liga Endesa, to the ACB. So Juventud, it was too late for them. Even they won against Pasajes here, I think, in the last round, but that meant nothing. Pasajes had everything done, and also the destiny of Juventud this season was written. So um, I had them at the top as you. So not being in the playoffs is not the thing. It's that they didn't even compete to be in the playoffs in the last rounds. So
Yeah, they weren't even close. They ended up two full wins behind, and I think it was 3 weeks out. They were already
yeah,
eliminated.
they had some Lietkabelis type of season. It's difficult to.
All right. So those are our surprises and disappointments. We have to wait a little bit for the playoffs. The playoffs? You talking about the playoffs? Let me just get the dates here really quick. Should have had those, but dun, dun. Where am I?
The 4th
March?
or
No,
5th
no, no.
of March.
March 4. March 4
Yeah.
and March 5 are the eighth finals. The one game on March 4th, and the others are on March 5th. And then the quarterfinals will be held on March 11 and 12, with the quarterfinals going from March 25th to April 2nd. And then the finals starting on April 8th. Okay. So we're going to table that conversation, as we said before, about the playoffs. You guys will have plenty of time to listen to our insight and then make your bets accordingly or not accordingly. We don't condone betting on this podcast, but it is our information. So, Sergio, anything else you want to talk about before we close the show?
Nothing that this week goes to the national leagues, and this time that there's no EuroCup, we should focus on national teams, but
And we got
also
national teams next week. Yeah.
yeah, so there's a lot of things going on February. Like there's some different season. So for me, there's always time for EuroCup, but now there are a lot of different scenarios to look up. So thank you for listening. Even
I
though there's
noticed
no EuroCup action.
there's a lot of open dates in my calendar, like Tuesday, Wednesday, like what usually I'd be watching a whole bunch of games and there's nothing
Yeah,
really to watch, which is not bad. My wife is saying, "Hi, who are you? Haven't seen you in a
yeah,
while."
my, yeah, my girl too, literally.
All right, Sergio, tell people where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, I'm Llebres 11, Llebres 11.
And I am at Hein News, HEINNEWS on Twitter and as well as Blue Sky. Sergio, thanks a lot for everybody out there. Hope you enjoyed our breakdown of the awards, and we will talk to you next week.